Welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade, New Orleans by Night. This is the 10th chapter of our story, and up on the chopping block for the synopsis tonight is Adam. So if you please, sir, let us know what happened last week.
So last week we had a little bit of a flashback to a week prior, to when I was gone, and to find out what my character was doing the night that we had the apartment blow up. Mm-hmm. So immediately after that, I go with Roger to see the other Nosferatus and try to, I don't know, I wanted to go handle the thin blood situation, but Andre gets to the hideout, and what's the other guy's name? The main Nosferatu? Avery. Yeah. Avery gets the information from Roger about what happened. He is a little shocked about the Vicenta situation and everything, and how the apartment complex thing was handled. As we kind of discussed what we were going to do about it and who was going to take the blame for it, Andre essentially suggested that Casey was to blame, since he, planted the C4. A news report comes on. The news report talks about the explosion, and sorry, excuse me, everyone. In the back of the in the background in the news report, on the on-site report, you can see a big box being wheeled out and two people in cuffs, seemingly the two people that were put in the basement by Casey. And the second Inquisition, the guy that's leading the police force is a second Inquisition guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So that became a big problem. Avery talked to I think Avery called the prince, or called someone in the prince's circle to get a meeting, to get everything set up, and told the prince about everything that happened, right?
Started the ball rolling.
Kind of got the ball rolling, yeah. Mm-hmm. So with that, a meeting was set up for the next night. Andre goes back, tells Sierra about that, and she is shocked for a multitude of reasons, along with the Vicenta thing, but also because we killed Metatron, and that kind of erases the possible angle with the Sabbat that the La Sombra could have leaned on had things gone south with the Camarilla. She was upset about. But with that in mind, she took a little bit of responsibility for not telling Andre the full story about everything and how to handle certain situations. Mm-hmm. And so she made some calls to her inside sources with the prince to kind of help with the trial the next day. Meanwhile, while that's happening, Iris and Vicenta are handling their dead body, and they go out into the woods, and they're snuggling up in a bathtub, reading journals and playing with each other's hair.
It's a good time.
Painting fingernails.
Yeah, and painting fingernails, and hiding away from werewolves.
Because we're smart.
Yeah, and they know that there's a meeting that they need to get to, so they try to leave. And they also have Casey on the way, because I told them to go to Shreveport. So they sneak out, get in the car, and Iris almost gets a werewolf on them when she's like, or something like, yeah, a little cat that she thinks is a cat, but it's not. So they get in, they get out, and they get a hold of Casey on the radio and tell him to get to the trial. He seems a little reluctant, but he says okay. they get there in the nick of time, and everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people and very important people are there. And we realize we're having a trial. It's not just a meeting, but it's a trial. And we are at the we're on the chopping block.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of go through that whole situation, and a lot of people are there that are very interested in us. Someone is there from Clan Hecata for Vicenta, and you can give the better detail about what that is. But we end up being okay, and Casey takes the fall after he shows up and can place his blame on himself, even after we were already throwing him under the bus. But he came to confirm it. And so they labeled him guilty, put him on a blood hunt, and he bailed. And we don't know if he managed to make it out or not, but he did leave a note, I believe, for Iris, where he left
He left his top hat, and then we chatted for a bit before he left.
Right, he
Said
chatted.
goodbye.
I knew there was something. I forgot if it was a note or not, but yeah. And so that was that. There was a Tremere
Yes.
that wanted to talk to me about learning more about Vicenta.
Mm-hmm.
And Vicenta is going to talk more with
I thought that was a Toreador.
That was Toreador.
Yes, you're
Was
right.
it a Toreador?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like,
I know.
was it another Tremere? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I get them mixed up.
No,
That's
you're
all
fine.
right.
So, so Vicenta is going to talk with the other member of Clan Hecata about Ella Messina, and then Iris is kind of... Iris has a priest that's interested in talking to her because of because Casey, he knew Casey.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I think that's about everything
I think so.
wrapped up in a
And
stumbling.
I got
little-
outed to like the whole court.
Yeah. Everyone knows that.
Everybody
she's Vicenta.
knows. But you did drop the bomb that you don't think it was really Ella Messina.
I did to the Hecata person, not to the
Oh.
whole court,
Right.
Oh, okay.
because that's Hecata business.
Rosalind Blake is her name.
Rosalind Blake. I will forget that many times. I
It's okay.
apologize.
It's okay. That's why I have this all written down. Yes.
Anything I missed?
We faded to black on Ig taking her to the bone zone.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we
that-
are true and proper Giovanni now.
Yeah. Yep. The deal has been sealed. All right. So, yeah, that's a pretty good synopsis. Act 2 is going to start a little over a month later. And you're still been doing your vampire things, but
That's not good.
it's not...
How many people has Iris killed?
Yeah. It's a good question.
Do we need to roll for it?
No. I need a bucket of 10-sided dice, probably. There is a serial killer in New Orleans, is all they know. I'm just
Yeah. And it's Iris.
It's coming full circle for rape.
joking. No, so it's just been, more trying to do your day-to-day, feed, work your business, maintain relationships. Nothing major, like, oh my God, there's this organization in town. I will say, though, that there is something of note, is that the area that you guys are all living in is definitely starting to move towards gentrification really quick.
Awesome.
Where once
job,
it was
Andre.
one or two
Yes.
blocks away, it is on your front doorstep. Iris's shop is now starting to become a bookstore. Granted, it is like one of those, two girls selling one coat type stores, where there's a handful of books on the front, and she's still trying to do her other business primarily. Nonetheless, it still looks like a bougie
Boutique.
hipster boutique bookstore in the front anyway.
Is it goth? I requested goth.
It's not really. It's more corporate goth. It's more
It's Hot Topic.
Yeah, not even that. I would say it's just like
It's torrid.
yeah. Yeah, Torrid is a pretty good example. Yeah. Yeah. So the Torrid clothing line, if you ever go into one of those stores, that's pretty good. Yeah, if you wanted to find gothy
More
shit.
mainstream.
Yeah, if you wanted to find
goth
gothy
to
shit,
wear in
you
normal
could.
life.
Yeah, exactly. Corporate goth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the case. The funeral home or funeral directors is still there. The sign is not as prominent. It's a little more low key as to what business is being provided there. But the thing is that service is always in demand, especially in a World of Darkness city. And Andre, your business is doing well. You've gotten so many renovations done. You've had a lot of tourists and even hipsters moving into the overpriced properties that are, you've thrown a new coat of paint on and people buy up because it feels like a safer neighborhood.
Restorative wood is in.
Yep. And, the fact of the matter is that the increased police presence in this area has made it somewhat of a more welcoming spot for people like that as well.
Fuck this, I'm leaving.
This has made feeding in this immediate area very, very difficult.
Are we still banned from the rack? I can't remember what
You
the
are,
time period was.
for a year.
A year?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Well, it doesn't really affect Vicenta
No,
quite
she's
as
fine.
much.
No.
It only really affects me if Sierra's not helping me.
Well, and so that's what we also need to talk about with Andre. Sierra has, as your business plans have moved and unfolded in the Bywater, seemed to grow more distant.
Oh, no.
God damn it.
Not hateful, just that feeling of closeness that you may have had, sometimes uncomfortably close, isn't there as much. She always seems to have something going on. And it's something that you've noticed, but to be quite frank, you're so busy yourself with all these renovations and remodels and moving these things forward that you are kind of in the same boat.
She's just letting the bird fly away from the nest. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I mean, you could certainly think that.
Well, fine.
That doesn't sound very good.
Jeez, okay.
No, I mean, that could be a thought that would, hey, that's why this is happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's valid or invalid. I'm just saying, yeah.
He rolled
Particularly,
his
it's
eyes.
not valid.
Okay.
One could think that.
Yeah.
So another thing that we should point out is that Antonio remodeled the apartment complex into a nicer apartment as promised. That agreement has been struck. You have given him the rights to domain, and it has been duly noted by him. There is a level of respect that comes from him now, having let him do this.
Does he ever come to my shop?
Occasionally, yes.
Oh! I wasn't expecting him to. Okay.
Not often, but sometimes when he needs candles or incense or certain things.
Oh, I saw that too?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just books.
It's books and mysticism stuff, too.
Then it needs to be Gother!
Or
It's
hippier.
Every time I see Andre, I'm like, we need more black paint in here, boy.
Are you starting to dress goth now that you've done that
No.
gothic Lolita outfit with Vicenta?
No, she just wears
Still
this.
wears her
She
stuff.
wouldn't actually
She
say it.
wants to sell that look.
She'll keep her back area, a little darker with with tapestries on the wall and candles and shit,
Sure.
but she'll leave the bookstore as is.
Gotcha. It's that happy new age thing in the front, like well lit, and and you have a person that works for you in the day.
I was wondering about a human.
Yes.
Oh shit. Rest in peace.
All
whoever that is.
they know is you're a manager and you come in at night to check on the store.
And I live above it.
Yes. It's been 4 weeks or so since you heard from Casey and last talked to him. 4 to 5. And there's not been anything. Nothing in the network. Nothing, nothing coming through TVs or radio or anything like that. There was, with the exception of yesterday, while you were out and about trying to feed, and you will have successfully done so.
Thank you.
If we're going to save you the grief, and we will say
Thank
all
you.
of you have fed at this point, so you should be at hunger 1.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah,
I was already at hunger 1.
it's
Me
gonna.
too.
It gets bad enough quick enough. I don't have to worry about
Yeah, that's true.
making
Yeah.
drama with that.
That's true.
You were walking by a pawn shop, and they had TVs in the window, displaying various shows and, things people had sold, good quality televisions. And for a brief moment, on the television, a spiral appeared on a display. And then there was a brief glimpse of some show on Discovery Channel about ancient Mesopotamian civilizations. And then it went back to the local news.
She stands there watching for about 10 minutes to see if anything else pops up.
It does not.
Okay. She's gonna Google ancient Mesopotamia when she gets home.
It is the Middle East.
Mhm.
It's, the Fertile Crescent, that cradle of civilization, where one could expect ancient peoples to have lived.
I'm gonna assume that means he made it there, but she's not gonna attempt to reach out because she knows they'll fucking kill her. So she'll just kind of note that for later.
Okay. Vicenta,
Mm-hmm.
how are things in your mind as this relationship, so to speak, has developed with Ignacio over this past month?
I guess it depends on.
How he's acting?
Yeah, I think for her, she has, she had the whatever from Dark Ages. I think that there probably would have been a discussion that's like, look, if you want to know, here it is. I'll answer any questions you have. But otherwise, I think she's kind of like, that's done. That's the past. And, if he wants to talk about it, or if he has questions, she's more than willing to discuss and go into that. But I think in her mind, she's just like, everybody that was involved in that is dead.
Yeah. It's
Gone.
a new life.
Yeah.
He seems happy. It's still a cautious happiness.
Mm-hmm.
It's all very weird to you both, I'm sure. But something that it seems you both want. There are some times, though, where he feels a little distant. And he just says it's hard to talk to you. That you talk out of time. And that sometimes he understands and sometimes he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then there have been other times in recent nights where when you think he's not aware of your presence, you can see him just staring off blankly into the distance. Almost as if he's frozen.
Stone.
Only to pick up his movements again like nothing happened and to keep on going. But that brings us to this night. And while you haven't seen much of your coterie mates in this past month, arriving at your doors in the mail in the daytime while you were asleep is a letter from Antonio Calbashari asking you to all come and see the grand opening of his new apartment complex.
Ooh, fun.
And that refreshments will be served afterwards. And
After party.
that he would very much like your attendance as new neighbors.
Cool.
But before you read that letter, you have to awaken, stirring your cold, lifeless body to life. So make a rouse check for me.
Blank is good?
Blank is bad.
Okay.
You get hungrier by one.
Here we go. It's killing time.
Onk with 2
Onk
stars.
is good. Onk is good. So your hunger increases by 1. You're now at hunger 2.
Oh, great. Going into an after party.
So at this point, enough with the narrator. You guys are free to make your own choices. Make the calls you want to make. Talk to who you want to talk to.
When is the
This-
party? The
tomorrow
open-
night.
Tomorrow, okay.
Well, have I been driving Sierra's car this whole time?
At this point, you could own your own.
That's what I was thinking about. Because if she's getting distant from me, I feel like if I'm making successful moves and I'm making money now, that I want to stretch my legs out and get my own vehicle and kind of be my
What are your
own.
dots and resources?
It's 2.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be. It could be a used luxury car, of some sort. But I mean, you certainly could buy your own.
Yeah. Then I want to do it.
Okay.
So I won't drive in that Mercedes or whatever.
Sure. What are you buying?
I don't know. I hadn't quite thought of that yet.
Okay. Well, think about it. But you do own it now.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever you decide on, you own. Unless you're like Maserati, in which case,
No.
But
That'd probably be like a Cadillac or
okay,
just a
something
like that.
Something like that. Okay. Sounds good.
Or maybe a BMW.
Yeah. Used BMWs are okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slightly used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Certainly all right. So yeah, is there any business that you need to take care of or would like to discuss on your own as characters before we go into the next night?
I'm good.
Okay.
I think so. I mean,
Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I mean, can Vicenta and Ig have a different car since that was used?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're learning to drive.
She knew how to drive
She drove us to
Oh, that's
Shreveport.
right. That's right.
because Persephone knew how to drive.
Yeah. Okay.
So now, if you had quizzed her about, well, what does this part and what does this part do, and she would have been like,
I just do the thing.
I just do the thing. I know you do this and you do this, and then that happens. So, but no, Vicenta wants a white Mustang,
Okay.
not like super advantageous or anything, but just a white Mustang.
Okay.
Iris still takes the bus.
Okay.
You're loaded.
I'm
though.
rich now, but she still
She's
takes
richer
the
than
bus.
all of you.
Which is
She has more resources than anyone.
How many do you
which
have?
is kind of
Like, 3.
Okay, so you're with Ig. Ig
Yeah.
has 3.
isn't
Yeah.
that
Nice.
kind of okay? I'm like running this whole area,
She
right?
inherited.
Am I not making any money off of this?
You are.
You are spending money, though.
But you're spending money.
Oh.
And not only that, there are so many people that are wealthy, but their wealth is tied up in debt.
Oh.
And I just have this shitty
Your
apartment.
assets
and I
aren't
don't
liquid.
buy anything.
Hers are very liquid, but they're very static. It's literally a
Right.
box of cash under a bed.
Right.
Covered in dirt. It was just buried in a graveyard.
Yeah.
I'll save this for a rainy day. Next time I kill a person and I need help.
There's like a pack of gum in the same box
Yeah.
too. Like, and
That's worth a lot. Don't touch that.
Yeah. That's vintage.
Yeah.
yeah, a vintage box of juicy fruit.
Yes.
So if we have nothing, we will all pop over to the night in question,
Sweet.
Well,
unless you had something.
I don't know. Well, have I talked to that?
To
Torrid?
Morgaine? You
Yeah.
have not at this point, no.
But did she want me to reach out to her?
Correct. When you felt you had time. Additionally, the same is the case with Father Iago.
I have not done that unless he's reached out to me again.
He has not.
Then I
He's
have
left the
not
ball
done
in your court.
that. Okay.
Do you have any intention of doing that?
She's really hesitant, but she's interested to know, but she's so suspicious of church life and church folk that she's like been putting it off. So it's on her back burner, to be honest. Like, she's like, I would like to hear what he has to say, but I really don't want to go through with the motions. Like, I wish I could just call him.
You certainly could.
But then she's like, I don't want to call him.
Okay.
It's complicated.
Well, let's deal with Morgaine, if you would like.
Yeah.
So you have a night to kill, and
Yeah.
your sire is already out of the house as it is.
Mm-hmm.
What else is new? As of recent. So you make the call on the card she gave you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to hear her because there's just thumping music in the background. And you're just talking over and, what do you say? Because she's just like, this is Morgane.
Yeah, Morgane, this is Andre.
What? Sorry, hold on. And then you hear a door close and then the sound of music in the background. But she's like, yes, hi, sorry.
Yeah, hi, it's Andre Ducard. You gave me your card.
Ah,
a few weeks
Ducard
ago.
with the card, huh? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the meeting,
Yes.
you wanting to speak with me? Talk a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you gave me your card.
Yeah,
Figured
perfect.
You wanted to speak with
come
me.
on down. The address is on the card. Just come on. I'll be here. I'll be here all night.
Okay.
You look at it, and it says Lamplight Gentlemen's Club.
I knew it.
Sweet.
She's a hooker or something.
So, yeah, you get in your new vehicle, white BMW,
Mm-hmm.
and begin to make your way to the theater, or the Lamplight. And it's in a pretty touristy area within the Fringe Quarter. And it is in full swing. There is a line to get in. It is probably a historically predominantly black clientele
Mm-hmm.
that are there. And
Is she black?
yes,
Okay.
she's.
I don't know if that
She
was,
looks like she might be of a mixed background.
Okay, I didn't know if
but-
that was ever brought up.
No, I won't.
not
I
that-
won't until I describe it
Right,
more
okay.
fully.
Yeah.
But she,
And I only asked because you mentioned the
yeah,
clientele.
and she's kind of got natural hair, but it, and more of an, just a natural look. But being a Toreador, it's an asset, not a liability.
right.
And as you make your way in, you just see dollar bills flying, girls twerking on, poles, and I mean, just
Hell yeah.
anything you think you would see. And, a lot of people kind of turn and look at you because,
Oh,
what's this-
Sorry, am I blush? Can I do the blush of life thing?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you think to do it, rouse
Okay.
check.
Hunger.
Okay, hunger increases by 1. So you feel the beast well up, that, oh, you could feed here. It would be so easy. You're charming.
Is this in the rack?
It is,
Okay. So I can't do anything about it.
right.
I can, but I can't.
Right. And so, you make your way in and, you see all these people, but you don't really see her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna kind of continue to kind of walk around and scope the place out.
Sure.
Looking for her, but kind of admiring more
Of the other
of
views.
of the sights.
Yeah. So as you're walking and stuff, you are looking and everything, and a cocktail waitress comes up and she's just like, "Can I get you anything, sweetheart?"
Yeah. Actually, I'm looking for Morgana.
Morgane.
Morgane. I'm looking for Morgane.
Oh, she's not here tonight. But I can leave a message. Did you say who you were?
Yeah, it's Andre Ducard.
Okay, I'll leave her a note and let her know.
That's weird.
Just have a seat.
Okay.
And at mentioning that, one thing that sticks out, she didn't ask you if you wanted anything to drink.
Yeah. She didn't even get you anything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she knew it. I need a hooker. Drink her blood.
So maybe 5-10 minutes go by, and then she comes back and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. She is here," and kind of winks at you.
Mm-hmm.
"Come on back with me."
Great.
And she takes you up these stairs, overlooking the floor, where everybody's sitting, throwing money and everything. And she opens a door, and you enter an office. Very nice office. A lot of velvet furniture, as you probably expect at a club like this. But nonetheless, it very almost it's like a romantic, sensual air to it, but also a hint of like, this is a business office too. It's like, I know what I'm selling, but I am selling.
Mm-hmm.
That type thing. Sitting behind the desk in a little black cocktail dress is Morgane, and her feet are kind of perched up on on the desk, and she motions at the chair in front of her desk and says, "Please have a seat, Andre. Thank you for coming out and speaking with me tonight. I do appreciate it.
Of course.
How do you like my place?"
It's lovely. A lot of really talented girls down there.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are. They do very well for themselves. Very well for me.
I can see that.
And it's a good cover for the nights that I want to take the stage and, pay myself, if you will. So, I appreciate you returning my, request. I'm sure I won't take much of your time. Are you thirsty?
Just a little bit.
One sec. Nisha, come here, sweetheart. And this girl from, you can tell it's like the back area, like there's a back curtain, she's yelling back behind. The dressing room is attached to, just off of hers. But she has to yell for them to hear. And this girl,
Before this girl walks in,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to mention then, because I'm in the rack right now.
Right.
Oh,
And
right.
she knows, she was at that meeting.
Yes.
Oh,
She
yeah.
knows
Yes.
that,
So you're mentioning
this is forbid, that this is technically like I'm banned from this. Like,
Oh, forbidden fruit. Well, good thing the rule of hospitality applies here. So, just this once, we'll let it slide between us friends, right? And this stunning, woman in pasties walks in and she's
They're
like,
in the shape of blood drops.
she's like, yeah, and she's like, this is Andre Ducard. Andre is an associate of mine, and he has a very special favor to ask you. And she kind of smiles and she goes, "You don't have to ask me twice." And she straddles you, and she's like, leans her neck,
Oh,
over,
my.
and she's like, "Go ahead and take a big bite, sweetheart."
Woo! Sprite almost went everywhere.
I'm sorry, that reaction got me more than anything.
It's like I timed it to come out your nose. And do you feed?
I don't know. I feel like kind of like nervous now. I feel like I'm like in this. I feel like I'm in this situation where I'm like, if I do this, she knows she's gonna hold this bullshit against me because that's how everyone works.
But she's also taking responsibility for it and saying that I'm offering you this hospitality, and she's knowingly breaking the prince's command.
She.
So you have just as much on her as she's gonna have on you.
She asked me if I was hungry and offered this to me.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but I never know if it's gonna be like I offered it as a trick.
Welcome to Vampire.
Yeah. Whatever. I'll just do it.
Okay, so you feed, and she lets out a moan you might hear on Pornhub. and she,
What are you doing, step bro?
Yeah, you lick the wound, and she's like, "Oh, thank you," and kisses your forehead, and
Cool.
walks back, and she's like, "That's better than any drug." And Morgaine just kind of smiles at her, knowingly. Says, "I'll see you on the stage in a little bit," and she walks to the back.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, now that you're fed, we can discuss things. I'll not mince words. I'm here or I have you here to talk to you about your friend, coterie mate, Cinta Giovanni.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what do you know about her?"
Well, what are you looking for?
Looking for?
Do you know her?
No, not well. Just stories, especially of her sire.
Ella Messina.
Yeah. Not a good person. Not a good person to associate with.
Mm-hmm.
And your coterie mates with her child.
Yes. Yes, that was not. That information was not relayed to me when we first met.
I see. Well, Andre, it would be very beneficial to you, and especially as one as I see as ambitious as you are, to let anyone know if anything, shall we say, out of place happens with that one. If you, shall we say, see her talking to spirits that you may not know from whence they came, perhaps report that to your prince, not to me. I say this as a friend out of concern for you.
Yeah, if you see the Giovanni talking to any spirits, you might want to give somebody a heads up.
I was like, where all do they come from? Don't they all come from one place?
They're worried about her talking to ghosts.
So she does that. Interesting.
I don't know.
We don't have many here. We had one.
You didn't hear me correctly.
Oh, it was a question?
Yeah, it was a question. That's what you're wondering.
So you've not seen her do anything like that?
No.
How about raise the dead?
Raise the dead.
She keeps talking about Frankenweenie and how cool that would be.
She talks about the dead a lot, and she feeds on them.
Feeds on them. Interesting. I had heard that their bites were painful. I wondered how they fed without causing a scene. Interesting. Well, I have a present for her.
Uh-oh. I don't like this at all.
A present?
Yes.
Is this for her birthday or something?
Just whenever you feel it was the appropriate time to give it to her. I'm sure she'll love it.
I'm sure I will not.
You want to tell me what it is?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I know when the appropriate time is?
Sure. She goes and gets this lace handkerchief out of a drawer. It looks old.
Mm-hmm.
And on it is embroidered this really intricate C.
Ah.
Ooh.
Just send it with all my love.
So, player fingers up here. Is that in Cappadocian or anything?
I thought it was
Cassandra.
Cassandra, maybe? Okay.
That's the only person. That's the only character whose name starts with a C that I know. Unless this bitch thinks that I know way more than I do, which is always a possibility as well.
Mm-hmm.
You give it to Vicenta, she's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing but respect and just a mutual memento of our pasts.
Ah. Do you have history with her?
I do not. No.
Your sire might?
No, not even my sire.
Your sire's sire. She is pretty old.
She is.
Never mind. I thought of another C.
Ooh.
So, I will let you ask questions of me. Is there anything you would like to know about the politics of New Orleans, the way things work, or perhaps any questions for me?
Well, you're the Primogen, right?
Yes.
Is she the Primogen?
Yes. Which just means that I am the head of my clan.
That's
I represent my clan.
Gotcha.
Within the city. I speak for Clan Toreador with Camarilla Matters.
Do I know who the head of La Sombra is? Is it Sierra?
Most likely it would be.
Yeah. Okay.
Seeing there are two of you that you know of.
It's just us as far as we know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vampire societies are very small within cities. Like for every 100,000 people, you might have 5 or 10.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how long has the prince been the prince?
Only a few years. Not very long. The one that came before her was in my notes. Let me get to it here. Prince Marcel. Prince Marcel was before her.
And what happened to him?
He met his final death. There were plays and moves within our society, and he played his cards wrong and was found wanting, and it was voted that he was unfit to be prince anymore. And so, he isn't.
So is Charity the primogen of the Malkavians? How?
She was once, yes. That one is unfortunate. How a bastard Malkavian can claw her way to princedom, I will never know. But yet, when the dust settled after overthrowing Prince Marcel and her making her play and claim to the throne, as it were, there she stood with no opposition.
Yeah.
If we're honest, Malkavian seemed easy enough to manipulate by those of us in power, in our own ways.
How's that been working out for you?
Not as like one would expect or hope.
She seems to have a lot in her pockets, so to say.
So it would seem. We underestimated her, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But she is the prince, and I acknowledge that and accept it.
Mm-hmm. Well, she voted to keep me alive, so.
Something to that, is there not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Your sire.
Sierra.
Yes. How are things going there?
Well, I haven't seen much of her recently. I think after the trial, she's been letting me, kind of, grow a little bit.
Oh. Letting the bird leave the nest, as it were. There's a time for that always. Seems a little early, in my opinion, but from what I've heard, you've been handling yourself pretty well. You've developed quite a situation there in the Bywater.
Yeah.
For yourself. Interesting that.
Yeah, this was all kind of just thrown on me.
Yes. But you've risen to the occasion.
Yeah, I've
to be commended.
Done what I could with the amount of pressure put on me.
You know, I have considered opening another club in that area. If you ever should need something, perhaps an arrangement could be reached.
Absolutely. I could have my people talk to your people.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So to say.
And there's a knock on the door, and a girl pokes her head in. She says, we need you downstairs. There's an incident.
Uh-oh.
The bouncer's handling it? Yes, ma'am, but we need a touch. We need to de-escalate. Yes. Well, Andre, if you'll excuse me, I have business to attend to, but
of course,
please feel free to stop by any time. And as an extension of hospitality to you, you can stop by anytime you have a need.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Thank you. We'll
Wonderful.
Definitely speak soon.
Yes, wonderful to meet you.
Wonderful to meet you as well.
She makes her way out, and you follow her downstairs, and there are, bouncer fighting with somebody, some guy. He's pretty evenly matched. Bouncer's a big dude, but this guy's a big dude, and he's drunk. And, just like, I want my fucking money, I paid for a dance and I didn't get it, just going off. And she walks up to him. She's like, what's the problem, dear? And he's like, this fucking guy, and looks at her, and you feel it emanate from her, and his tune totally changes. And he's like, oh, shit. Damn, baby, I didn't know. She's like, you shouldn't get out of line like that, should you? You should probably just leave the club and not worry about it. Yeah. Look, I'm sorry. Hey, can I get your number? And she's like, why, sure. And she hands him a business card and winks at you.
Yeah.
And she's like, And I'll tell you what, free drinks when you come in and show them that card. Yeah, all right. But you've got to go for tonight, okay? Just for tonight. Oh, yeah, I understand. Yeah. And you know she did something,
Oh, yeah.
you know. And it wasn't Dominic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's never seen it before.
Mm.
But you've heard that the Toreador have ways of
Manipulating.
charming. Yeah, charming and, you know, winning people over that way.
Mm-hmm.
Winning friends and influencing people. And you find yourself outside, you know, the guy's looking at the card, smiling to himself as he walks off the street, you know. They let another person in as you two are let out, you know, and off you go.
Okay.
Is there any business that you two would like to discuss now that you've had time to sit here and think?
I kind of do want to talk to the priest.
You
If
do?
it's not going to take too long.
It won't. And this is what this is for. It's
Okay.
for building downtime.
I'm just
You know,
getting
before
more
we all come in.
curious as I sit here. And I'm like, I'm going to talk to him.
So you debate back and forth. Are you going in person or are you calling?
I'm going to go. He said, like, I'm
St.
there
Peter's.
Wednesdays or some
Mhm.
shit. I don't
Yeah.
remember. So I'll wander.
But you know it's Wednesday.
All right.
What a coincidence.
How convenient.
How can we? It's just crazy that the club's that crowded on a Wednesday.
Yeah. It's
Well,
crazy.
this
How-
could have
what are
been
the
during
weekends
the
like?
month.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
No, I like it being the same night.
Yeah, I wonder how many of her patrons have those free drink cards.
Mm-hmm.
Enough to probably get her drunk.
Yeah. Oh, was there anything? Was that girl? I assume wasn't on anything.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
You feel fine. No, you.
I imagine she probably keeps her ladies clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
to a
checking.
degree. Yeah. As clean as you can. People
Sure.
are their own people. And then we go back to Miss Iris. Making a call or going in person?
Going.
Going. So you arrive at St. Peter's Basilica. It's a very ornate historic church. It was also mentioned in Wraith. It's where they held the ghost court.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And no spirits or apparitions for you this night that you see, that you notice. But you do get a feeling of history and that this place has tales and stories.
Mhm.
You make your way in and you do see people doing midnight mass and, you know, lighting candles, praying to the Virgin for, you know, help forgive them their sins now and in the hour of their death. And you are not doing Blush of Life at this moment. Did you want to?
Yes.
Okay. You're fine.
Cool.
All right. So you make your way in and you are spotted pretty soon by Father Iago. And he comes over to you. He was doing the Eucharist for people. Comes over after he finishes and says, oh, my dear, it's so good to see you. I feared you wouldn't come talk to me. I'm so glad to see you here.
Okay. She's like nervous and on edge.
let's go sit over here in the corner.
Okay.
That way there's not as many people around. You and I can talk. You can ask any questions you want.
Okay.
Are you thirsty? Do you need something to drink?
No.
Okay, well, come sit. And he pulls up, you know, a chair across from a pew, you know, that's kind of like a praying corner type thing. Some candles are lit behind him. He kind of stays comfortably away from them. And he says, well, what would you like to know? Obviously something brought you here tonight.
You said you knew Casey.
I did.
How'd you know him?
He came to me a few years ago wanting to find a way out of the Sabbat.
Do you know a way out of the spot?
I did not at the time, but I spoke to the prince on his behalf.
So what do I know what kind of vampire this is?
You don't.
Why did he come to you?
Because we are of the same clan.
Oh. I would not have guessed that.
The sighted ones, the ones who see. Others do not. No, we're not all blithering idiots. I would argue that the prince is probably the smartest of all of us in this city. Machiavellian in her schemes. But no, I simply offered him a way out. You see, I don't know if you knew this or not. Casey in his time was a religious man. In his mortal life, he was a preacher. A Protestant, but we'll forgive him of that.
Ha ha ha.
And he came looking at the only place he knew that could offer salvation.
But it didn't work.
I suppose it worked in its own way.
Oh, you're taking credit for it?
No, I don't give myself any credit. I give credit to God.
For doing what exactly in this situation?
The Casey you know and have spoken to, and we discussed whether he should reach out to you, and he and I determined that it would be best if he did. That man is a man looking for redemption. But the road he walked for decades before finding a way to redeem himself was a terrible one. Casey, I knew of his sire, did not know her well. But LaDonna was cruel, to say the least.
Yeah.
And the tortures he told me she inflicted on him, I will not repeat here, out of respect for him. But he and I talked often, which, if I am honest, should have meant my final death, according to the Camarilla, because I would have been seen as a Sabbat sympathizer. But I saw something there in him, a true desire to free himself of that scourge.
Do you think the Camarilla just didn't know about it, or they turned a blind eye that you were talking to?
I would say my own clan turned a blind eye. Take from that what you will.
Could be a Machiavellian scheme.
Perhaps. I tried to help Casey. And I did, but not as much as I would have liked.
I could say the exact same thing.
But I would like to help you as well.
With what?
Just to offer an ear, to offer another kindred you can turn to of your own kind. I know it can be isolating enough to be one of us, much less being a Malkavian.
Yes.
And so I would offer friendship, if you will.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It doesn't bother you that I do tarot cards and speak to the dead and all of that?
Not at all. Does it bother you that I am a Catholic priest in name only?
She goes like, oh. What do you mean?
I serve the church, but I serve the church of the kindred first.
I'm having flashbacks.
Have you heard of the Church of Cain?
No! Does he really say that?
Yes.
Shit. God damn it. Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
And what have you heard?
Okay, so out of character, how prevalent is that in this day and age? Because I'm only thinking of like Dark Ages. For
It is known it is not the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
It is still the belief that God divinely gave the gifts to Cain.
Mm-hmm.
But it has long, from what you understand, has long left the Sabbat inclinations to, and we should rule with an iron fist because we are servants of God and are higher than the mortals.
You're saying left as in they don't do that
They
anymore?
do not prescribe to that belief anymore.
Okay. So it's
They
just...
still are Nodists, which means they follow the Book of Nod.
I forgot everything about that. What is that?
It's
again?
Dee has a copy and I have a copy.
Yes, I remember looking at it, but I don't
It is
remember
the account
right now.
of what happened to Cain, from his own mouth
you.
after the killing of Abel.
Okay.
So it's that whole story.
It's like the Vampire Bible.
It's the Vampire Bible. The other testament
okay.
of Canis Christ. Yeah.
Okay.
It's their Book of Mormon.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. That is an
So
excellent.
made up. Sorry, any
That's
Mormons
that's
listening?
debatable. You know, some people say it's not anything. Some people believe it's the divine word of Cain.
Interesting. She'll probably say, I've heard of the Book of Nod and that you believe that Cain is the father of vampires, but that's all I really know. I'm not religious myself, I'm sure you notice.
Well, there's no harm there. I respect all those that respect me in kind.
So how do you serve the Church of Cain?
I am a father. I am a pastor. I'm a preacher, a priest. The priest of the Church of Cain here in New Orleans.
Well, what do you do?
I help those follow the word of Cain and find their way. Those that need assistance, those that need help.
What did Casey think of the Church of Cain?
He thought it was fine, but not for him.
Hmm.
That did not decrease our friendship any less.
Who all's a member? I don't know if you're allowed to say, but...
Out of respect to those that deal in their own secrets and comfortability, I would not dare to mention anything anyone didn't want mentioned. There are those that still think of this church in its, shall we say, less savory roots.
Yes, it does have a negative connotation.
Yes, but know that it is permitted and sanctioned by the prince. And that we are a recognized religion within this city.
Interesting.
And if you would like to know more, feel free to ask any time. But if you are fine and do not wish to know any more, that is okay too. I do truly mean it. I do not have ulterior motives, but I will not hide who I am from you.
I appreciate it.
But just knowing one of your own clan, I thought would be beneficial.
Thank you.
How is your business doing? I hear that they're renovating in that area.
They are. My coterie mate Andre has been remodeling my store. It's now primarily a bookshop with a few occultish type of materials, and I still do tarot readings and other psychic readings in the back. It's doing a lot better than my own shop was, I will admit, regrettably, but he did a good job.
I'm glad to hear that. Maybe I'll have to come visit some night.
In your outfit? Would you come in your outfit? That would be cool. We could say you're doing an exorcism.
I don't know if we would go that far. But
Well, I might tell people. I'm not gonna lie. I might whisper to somebody.
we'll see. We'll see what transpires.
Okay.
I did not mention to anyone that you were coming tonight. I'm not saying our friendship need remain secret, but you understand our kind deal in secrets.
And anytime any of us meet, it's game
instant
for rumors.
suspicion and
Mhm.
rumors, correct.
I see. Understandable.
But anyone that asks, I will tell them the truth. You are here to meet me, and I hoped to extend a warm hand. It is so rare within our kind.
That's true.
I do appreciate you stopping by tonight. I do need to finish math.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Iris, it was a pleasure to get to talk to you.
You as well.
I wish you the best.
Thank you. Good luck with Mass.
Thank you. And he gets back to it.
All right. Okay. That was unexpected.
Yeah.
All right. How's she feeling going back home?
Better. She's relieved. She was nervous. She doesn't like religious stuff, and the thing of Cain is like still a religion to her, but it's like the closest, the most normal seeming almost, because she is a vampire. It feels less like dangerous and manipulative as other religions that she's come to see as manipulative. So she feels better about it, and she learned a little about Casey. She didn't like that he had to be convinced to reach out to her when she was already there. She was a little pissy about that, but she's like, you know what, whatever, it doesn't matter.
7 chapters later, you've been completely manipulated into being in the Church of Cain.
Probably. I mean, Monica is like, oh, fuck. Right. Iris is like, oh, that's chill. That's chill. Cool. All right.
Dee, is there anything?
Did I need to meet with
Rosalind?
Yes.
It wasn't a must, but you could if you wanted to.
Okay. Because she did say I think she said we'll speak again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
probably need to
Okay.
bring Ig to this meeting because he
Okay.
should know things in case something happens to me.
Sure. All right. So you want to set it up, and we'll say this has happened a couple of nights ago.
Okay.
No, it's this Wednesday night.
It's this Wednesday
Nah,
night.
I don't care.
No.
It doesn't matter.
So yeah, you find a time to meet with her, and she directs you to a public spot within the French Quarter, near Café du Monde, where you guys can meet and kind of discuss things.
Okay.
And you arrive with Ig, and what are you rolling for? Blush of life?
Yeah.
So you do get hungry.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just had a huge brain fart
No,
right
that's
then.
fine. That's fine. Wouldn't be you shouldn't have rolled the red dice. You're fine. But yeah, you arrive, and she's waiting for you at a little cafe table, kind of on the street. Busy, but where if anybody walking by, they're probably not paying attention to your conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And she greets you both, and says, "Please sit down. Please sit down."
Thank you for meeting.
Of course, it's very rare to have any of the clan in this city.
So I've noticed.
You and I, and I guess your child here,
Yes.
we are the extent of it, as far as I know. Now, who moves in and out of New Orleans, especially during Mardi Gras season? Well, that's still open to the prince. Many kindred do. But many of our kind, certainly not.
And to be quite frank, it does depend on the bloodline.
I suppose. And I must admit, this is all very new to me. Us coming together like this.
Yes. Well, in my time, we were, I suppose, not so divided. The Giovanni were but a portion of the Cappadocians, but I do not, neither of us, descend from Augustus. We are, I suppose, harbingers of ashes, what they have decided. Cappadocians.
Yes. Of skulls. Harbingers of skulls.
And Cappadocians.
Yes.
We are Cappadocian.
I understand. The past is in the past, is it not?
In my experience, the past rarely stays where it should. But that is neither here nor there.
The past is all around us. It speaks to us. Many of those do not get it out there.
True. You had questions about Payacho.
Yes, you believe that he had possessed Elmasina's body?
Yes.
I have spoken to some of my contacts on the other side of the shroud, and they confirm what you say is true. That when the spirit was pulled from the corpus, from the body, that it was not Elmasina's spirit that was torn from the body.
Yes.
There was only a brief moment, mind you, before it was ripped to shreds and taken down below. But it was of a clown.
That would be Payacho.
Shit.
I would be willing to back your statement to the prince in exchange for information from you.
Information on what?
Certainly in your time there are rituals and information long lost to those of us with modern knights, shall we say.
She's not really liking where this is going, but she's listening.
If I could perhaps become a student of yours.
You wish the art of mortis.
I wish the art of understanding things that I do not yet know.
Understand there would be caveats.
Such as?
I will never teach another Hekaton how to subjugate a wraith.
She just starts to cackle at that, like laugh hysterically.
What?
And she's like, "What do you know of the Samity?"
Very little.
Well, know this. Spirits are to be communed with and respected by the Samity.
Very well.
They are not to be subjugated under any terms. We do not beat them and abuse them as your Giovanni brethren do. Forgive me, but we do not. It is known what they do and have done, and the consequences therein.
And she just looks at her like you don't think I know what the consequences
No,
were.
she's saying, I know what the yeah, I know that you know and we both know is the kind of thing she's saying.
Yes, well. If you thought the Giovanni were bad, you should have met the Rosalinis.
Well,
Unfortunately,
I'll
some
have
of
the
them
pleasure of not
survived.
knowing then.
Ah, yes, you do.
But I don't mean this as an extortion. I just mean it as a trade. I'll admit that I do have desire for knowledge. I think all of us in this clan do. And it kind of shifts and it's like, I don't know about that. I don't know about all of us.
There's always an exception that defines the rule.
Well, certainly.
Vidamia.
Certainly. And she kind of looks at him like a double take. And she's kind of just looking, that uncomfortable silence.
Now I'm looking at her.
She's having a that man is a gargoyle moment.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
How long do you think you can hold on, son? I'm trying. What?
What the fuck?
He says, I'm trying, and then kind of realizes he said it before he thought about it. What do you mean? Oh, bless you.
What?
He's on borrowed time.
Oh, come on. They just got together.
What do you mean borrowed time?
His spirit doesn't belong here. It's been gone too long. The pull of the other side is strong with him. You can't take a sleeping babe and send it to running the next day and not expect it to fall. If we are to learn, we can learn to help him maybe together.
Oh, I'm getting some Palpatine vibes off of her. So don't go to the dark side.
I'm very like, I think Vicenta's concerned and like, a trade was made. An exchange.
In exchange forever?
Surely.
And one from such as Payacho would honor a deal like that, would he not? Certainly.
It was El Messina that made the deal. Her soul is in oblivion. Unless it is not.
As far as I've been able to tell, she's nowhere to be found. No one has seen her.
If she did not want to be seen, she would not be seen.
I have no doubt.
But why? The information I was given did not indicate that it was temporary.
It shouldn't have been. I wouldn't think it should have. The way that you ride this body now is not temporary. It should be the same with this one, and yet. And he's like, all right, enough talking about me like I'm in the third person. I'm right fucking here.
Forgive me. What are your thoughts on the matter?
It's just a bunch of bullshit. I think she's just trying to get one over on you and scare us.
Can I look and see if she's trying to get one over
Sure.
on me?
Sure.
Okay.
I will make a check as well.
I can't remember. Did Casey eat El Messina? Did he tell me that and then backtrack it or something? I can't remember.
He said that he diablerized her, but the thing is, if it depends on when the soul went to oblivion.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
if it went like if El Messina went to oblivion and then Pacha took over the body, then it wouldn't really matter. But at the same time, what did he get a hold of if Payacho got pulled out?
Exactly.
And
was
destroyed.
torn up.
Right.
So I can't remember if he was like, I was lying about that.
No, he straight up said that he diablerized El Messina. But it was that after the hunters got her and didn't quite finish her off.
Yeah.
But the wraiths did.
But the wraiths. Okay.
Did he
Just
eat
what you heard from her.
Yeah. I was just talking like player knowledge right now on that. But as far as Vicenta doesn't know anything about any kind of diablerie.
That's true. I'm just trying to remember what he told me.
So she just thinks that the specters
Tore up Payacho.
Right, and then who knows who she's been talking to about that, because supposedly that was a bunch of specters. So has she been talking to a bunch of specters? Because they lie. So, I don't know. What do I need to roll?
Give me wits plus awareness.
Okay. Three successes.
She seems sincere. She's not. It doesn't seem like there's any manipulation going on here, as far as you can tell.
Mm-hmm. Who are your contacts in regards to El Messina?
Spirits who were there.
Specters who were there?
I imagine some of them probably were. Are.
Be very
You
careful.
can't trust.
Cannot trust specters.
No.
So So if they were specters, I would take their information with a grain of salt.
Certainly, but there are also other witnesses that are not.
Such as?
Such as individuals who have not crossed on to the other side and commune with me and talk with me and tell me things.
Anyone I know.
Not that I know of.
Well,
Can we go?
yes. We will say our goodbyes and then we will leave.
I just ask you to consider. That is all. For all of our sakes.
Thank you. What was her last name?
Blake.
Thank you, Miss Blake.
And thank you, Miss Giovanni, for meeting with me. You know me, mister? Thank you.
Giovanni.
The same.
And they part ways. I mean, honestly, the fact that she's like, I imagine some of them were specters, she's a little bit more leaning towards Iggs. Like, she's just trying to scare it. She's just like, oh, okay. She just got... And she probably even tells him that when they get in the car. She's like, if she was communicating with specters, they lie.
Are you driving?
Yes.
Drive check.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, you're role playing it.
What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing. I'm fine. What?
Oh, he was doing that thing again.
Have you had trouble concentrating lately?
No, I'm fine.
Is he fine? I would imagine he's not fine.
No, you just saw him not be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying not to worry you.
When did this begin?
I don't, just everybody daydreams. It's fine.
I understand everybody daydreams.
Just had a lot on my mind lately. That's all. It's a lot to come to terms with still.
I agree.
And the business has picked up. It's just been busy.
And she kind of lets him have that up until they get back. And then the only thing she's going to say about it tonight is, I know that you don't want to raise concern, but if something needs to raise concern, please tell me.
I will. Yeah, I will.
I would rather be proactive about any issues than reactive.
Yeah. I understand.
Did you want to finish our Game of Thrones episode?
You think we can make it through it this time?
Maybe, I don't know. We can try.
What season are you on?
Yeah, it depends on the season.
4. We'll go 4. So it's not sucking yet.
All right, you can finish the episode then.
Make your way in. Say, new night. The letters have arrived from Antonio the day before, and now it is the day to make your attendance should you want to do so.
Sweet.
Are there any bodies to feed from before I go?
Everybody will need to make a rouse check.
Oh, shit. Oh, I'm good.
Okay?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yes, there are.
Okay.
Remember, business has picked up.
Oh, okay.
So more bodies? Is that what that means?
Well, more people are choosing the funeral home.
Right.
It's a nicer funeral home, so they want to,
Right.
They're okay
It's
with
yeah. It's more. Images everything, and it's starting to show.
Yeah.
So, definitely want to feed and make sure Ig does too before we go.
Okay. He does.
Okay. I know they said refreshments, but that doesn't usually apply to us. So.
Okay. So, you're going?
Mm-hmm.
You're going?
Yeah, I'm dressing up.
Okay. How are you dressing up?
Like Stevie Nicks, but lazy.
Okay.
That's awesome.
All right.
It's funny.
So like a hippie dress, but
Yeah, like in black, and like maybe more jewelry than she normally wears, because she doesn't wear jewelry since this is a special occasion. But,
Gotcha.
Like, she didn't try super hard, but she's like, this is nice. I don't get to dress up that often.
Jacinta is dressing more modern now in Modern Nights. So she
Okay.
is dressed up, but it's a much more modern flavor. And she has on her pomegranate, necklace and earrings and, all that. Just flaunting the fact that, her mask name
okay.
association. But other than that, she's out as Jacinta in
All right.
Vampiric Society.
I'm assuming you're wearing your normal business suits
Yep.
and all that. Okay. Sierra is there this night as you're leaving.
Cool.
And she's like, well, you look all dressed up. You got anywhere to go?
Yeah. Antonio's having his grand opening.
Oh, of his apartment down like.
Mm-hmm. Figure I need to make appearances.
Oh, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Didn't invite me, did he?
Did he not?
Oh, I guess not.
I mean, the letter came in. I figured you would probably just go.
It's addressed to you. I'm not going to read your mail.
Well, I
I'll
don't
have-
know. Looked like an open invitation to you as well, since we're,
Was my name
child
on-
and sire.
Well, my name's not on that, is it?
I guess not. I was just trying to be
Well, then
optimistic.
good. I hope you have a good time tonight.
Oh!
She's busy.
Mommy is mad.
Have you got anywhere you're going?
I'm sure I'll find something to do. I'm sure it'll be great.
You always do.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Is something wrong?
Why would there ever be anything wrong? No, there's nothing. I'm fine. It's fine.
You sound like
This is
you
not.
sound like a pissed off.
It's not fine.
Fine. Go.
Whatever.
Have fun at your party.
It's a trap, Andre. It's a
fucking
trap.
fine.
It's a
Whatever.
trap.
I don't think Lasombra would fall for this trap. They'd be like, bye.
Yeah, I don't.
I assume the card doesn't say +1 on
Can
it.
I don't know. Is there anything I can roll for at this point? I don't know. Is there anything I can roll for?
I think it's role play at this point.
Mm.
You're definitely picking up what she's laying down.
Yeah.
I mean, just tell her to get dressed and you're...
Just why don't you just get dressed and come with me?
Oh, they'd love that, wouldn't they? That your sire is tagged along by the child, let in by by her nose
She's
at
jealous that
the
you're doing
creation that they told her to make.
it. Mm.
Oh.
Got it.
I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
They're using you, Andre.
You told me to do this.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't really see it, but they're winning right now. You're doing everything they want and dancing like their little puppet. And what are we gaining from it?
Mommy may have a point.
Well, she was the one who was like, this is going to be good for us because
yeah,
we'll
she-
be able to feed
the-
here.
that-
So I thought it's going
She-
perfectly.
That's true, though. Oh.
But
mean, that's
here's the
not
thing.
nec-
Things don't always shape up like you think. And,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and it's like she's starting to realize something.
They'll, I don't know.
You dance to their tune. And I told you to. I take that responsibility. I told you to. But who's telling you now to come to that event? And did you even ask if you should go? Not to me, but to yourself. I'm not going. I want you to go if that's what you want to do. But you really need to think about why they're having you do the things they're having you do. I've been thinking about it a lot. And that's where I've been for the past few nights, and I think I'm close.
What have you been doing?
What I need to.
So this secretive stuff is what got us in trouble last time.
Secrets are what
time.
keep us alive, Andre.
Why do you keep it secrets from me, though? How did those keep us alive?
Because I don't know.
The secrets that were kept about our allegiance with Sabat and what were kept from me, and I killed Megatron or whatever his name was.
Metatron.
Yeah, he says it wrong.
And you did.
Had I known that we were potentially working with them too, maybe I would have played that differently.
But did you ask or tell me what was going on?
You were never around. Just like you haven't been around.
Leave it with Winston. You're right. I've not been around. I have things I have to do. Things that are important to keeping us alive. And maybe one day you'll understand that.
Well, I've been trying to make something of myself because that's what you told me to do.
And you're doing a good job of that. And I hope this Camarilla thing works out.
Nah, she being a bitch.
Well,
Because I was trying to see it from her eyes, but I'm like, nah, no, she be a bitch.
Dramatically.
well,
Comedic timing there.
Sorry.
That was good.
That was really good. I'm sorry.
So I spoke with that Toreador.
Yeah.
She gave me a place to feed. We're talking.
Mm-hmm.
She wants information from me.
You gonna give it to her?
I haven't decided yet.
Just only do it if it's gonna benefit you. That's all I ask. And benefit you more than it benefits her.
She wants information about my coterie.
Of course she does. They want to know who you're running with now, who your friends are.
They already know one member of my coterie really well. Seems everybody here does, including you. Except me.
Except Jacinta, she knows no one back.
Everyone seems to know who she is.
Everyone knows her sire. Everybody knows what her sire did. And everybody's watching her to see if she's here to finish that work. Part of me thinks she is, and she just doesn't know it.
If she is, she certainly doesn't know it because she doesn't seem to like her very much.
Well, that's a healthy thing to do then. I wouldn't like her very much either. And we were on the same side, so to speak, for a time.
When was that?
Decades ago.
Was that with Casey?
I knew of them. We weren't friends. The Sabat aren't all buddy-buddy. We do what we have to do to get by. Especially in these nights. It's all a claw to the bottom. That's the only reason we're here. It's pure and simple. The Sabat was losing. For a long time they seemed to be winning. But now they're losing. All this second Inquisition bullshit, which is another thing we have to worry about now that we know they're here in this town. You can't do what you want to do.
Has she been in New Orleans this whole time?
For a long time, yeah.
Does she know? So, do you know about Prince? What's his name? Prince Marcel?
Know of him.
What clan was he?
Ventrue.
Ventrue. And you know about Charity, obviously. You know, the Toreador was telling me a little bit about how she came into power. It's kind of odd that a bastard Malkavian became the prince.
Yes, a bastard.
What? Why was she a bastard again? I can't remember.
Doesn't know her sire.
Oh, okay.
I think I know who our sire is.
Yeah, it seems like
And
Sierra knows.
Sierra says it kind of like that.
Do you know anything about that?
It's what I've been working on, my dear child.
Ooh.
You're trying to find out who her sire is.
I know. I just have to confirm.
Well, who is it? Maybe I can help.
It's dangerous to tell you. Because they could pry it from you. Take it from you.
What, using their...
And it's dangerous that I'm even telling you that I know. This is a very delicate situation. But when the time is right, we'll present it.
Okay. Well, while that's happening, then let me pretend to dance like a little monkey for them until I get into a better position that we can drop this bomb.
I agree.
You work your angle, I'll work mine, and then we can come together.
I like that.
Sorry.
And she, kind of rushes over to you and plants a deep kiss on your mouth. She's like, "You're still my child."
Well, thank you. You're still my sire.
And you always will be. I may have been... I was right. I was right to sire you. I was right to sire you. All right, go. You're going to be late.
Okay. We'll talk later.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
I'll have dinner waiting for you when you get back.
Thank you.
All right. And there you all are, arriving, you two, a little earlier than him. But you find yourselves with Antonio. He did a shiver. And also a person who was there the night before, who introduces himself as Heinrich Dresselhaus.
Do you mean the trial?
At the
night
trial.
Before?
Mm-hmm. It looks like maybe a younger Tremere, in at least, an apparent age. And the way he talks is a little more, modern. Not so snooty as your typical Tremere. But after a few minutes of awkward talk and stuff, Andre arrives. And at that, Antonio turns and it's just like, so good that you're all here. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Can I offer you anything to drink?
Is it just us?
Yeah.
I don't like this
I don't either. Is Ig here?
Yes, Ig
Ig's
is
there.
here.
What do you mean it's just us?
It's
The
just
three
your
of us.
coterie.
No one else is at this party?
Well,
But Heinrich.
Heinrich and Antonio.
She kind of looks around like, is it?
Yeah, trust me, Vicenta's giving the same vibe, and she's kind of like positioned Ig kind of like behind her.
I assure you.
Where's
that
everybody
there's-
else? Where's the guest list?
This is the guest list.
What an honor for us.
Well, you are my neighbors, and I wanted to invite you over and to show my appreciation for allowing me in this area.
Can we roll for bullshit?
Sure.
I'm scared shitless of Tremere.
Can I do Sense Unseen?
Yes.
Are we in the house? In
Yeah.
the apartment?
What do we roll?
Is it wits plus awareness?
Yes.
Okay.
Where's
4 successes.
4 successes. All right.
one success?
Okay. He seems sincere. He seems happy that you're here. A little. I mean, you've never seen his face this animated, and excited that.
He just
you're
doesn't
all
have a
here.
lot of friends, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all. Please.
too?
Every once in a while, you can see a spirit move through the walls. Looks like turn of the maybe 1920s, 1930s type clothing.
Are you looking at me? Are you looking at Vicenta? Are you?
She's not. I'm just looking at you.
You want me to do sense unseen?
Maybe late. Not right now. Not in front of him. But I'm just looking at you. But she's not looking at Vicenta.
And he sees you looking, like that.
Who are they?
You see them. This is why I wanted you both here.
Oh, thank you.
And you two as
And
well.
you.
Yes. You two as well, especially. You see,
We're the ones who made the deal.
There's so much to this. The apartment complex that's here now. It wasn't always an apartment. It was a hotel. And there was a fire at the hotel in the 1930s. And a number of guests died. There are spirits that I've been told that walk these halls. And did you see one?
I saw a few. Yep.
And it's true.
Why do you need to know?
I find it fascinating.
Are you going to run haunted tours?
No,
Oh.
nothing as such as that. I don't believe. No, are you hungry? Are you any of you hungry?
We're quite well fed, thank you.
I would love something.
The back bedroom there. There's a young woman waiting.
Oh, okay.
She does enjoy the kiss.
Oh, how nice. What a treat.
So, how's business going? You got any, I don't know, pre-sales on this apartment?
Yes.
You got people moving
We
in?
open next week, and all rooms are rented.
Perfect.
All apartments are rented, yes. Except, of course, my penthouse here. This is mine.
Naturally.
She calls back on her way to the other room. Are you concerned about a haunting? You need us to talk to him?
No,
Okay. She keeps walking.
it's more of just a meeting of peers. You understand, we all live in the same domain, so to speak. And it's just to get to know one another, know how we can help one another if need be. I think it's a tragedy that the kindred and kind don't get to know their neighbors like we used to.
What
in
is
days
kind
long ago.
again?
Human.
Humans.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we made the deal. We're working together.
And I think as a neighbor, it behooves me to inform you of an issue.
Oh, God. Here we go.
That's so the other shoe is dropped.
It always does. And I'm sorry. We won't speak of it long, but it is important to feel. It affects all of us. And I would ask your advice on what we should do about this issue affecting us.
What is the said issue?
I have it on good information from those that still claim loyalty to us in the Camarilla within the New Orleans Police Department, that the New Orleans Special Task Force is talking of opening a precinct in the lower Ninth Ward.
I spit out all the blood that I have in my mouth. What?
The girl's like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are they going to use that apartment building as their new precinct?
ours?
No, the one that we blew up.
No.
The Shamisha.
But it's uncomfortably
Seneschal.
close to where we are. Or will be when the property is purchased. There are talks with the city right now of zoning and permissions.
I am sure Mr. Avery and his company would appreciate said information.
He has
They
already been
already have
contacted and is none too pleased, I assure you.
Was he doing anything about it?
What can he do? He is
What-
limited in his capacity.
So
He
what
cannot
can
pass
we do?
as we pass without considerable effort.
Has
This
he-
is what I am proposing for us.
A protest.
Perhaps something to make them think that their eyes should not be here.
Oh.
Because I fear that with these new, I don't know if you've noticed them on the street lights and the stoplights, there are cameras now. Dreadful things.
Mm-hmm.
They can
Andre's
see-
like, I don't give a shit about
They
that.
can see. They can see
No, I
coming.
would care a lot about that because I show up as a fucking
Blur.
blur on
Yeah.
on their cameras.
He's pretty much like, this
Oh,
is a
for
blank
second
body.
Inquisition. Yeah.
We certainly don't need them tuning in and being just a 5-minute drive from here.
Maybe we could tamper with the cameras.
They will just be repaired.
Well, put a loop on it or something and save us time till they notice something blurry.
Well, that is it's an option. Certainly. I propose we do something to lead their interest further into the Ninth Ward.
Is the Ninth Ward where the Nosferatu are?
Yes.
Because we're in Bywater, correct?
Correct. So
So-
let me see
And,
your map.
and drive them deeper into Nosferatu territory.
Yeah, that's what
I
Not at all. No. Further still, to the easternmost side of the Lower Ninth Ward, an area that is in very big need of assistance. Not so close to our side of the Bywater District. They do that because it's safer for them to operate. And this area is already starting to be cleaned up. So block by bloody block, they spread both directions. However, if we can make a case that our kind are not here and are elsewhere within the Lower Ninth Ward, because as you know, Roger and Avery are not too far from here.
Right.
They know the advantage as well of being so close to the rack and areas where they can feed easier and obtain things easier.
What is it that you are proposing, Mr. Kabushari?
I have it on good authority, Mr. Ducard, that your unfinished business is still in the eastern side of the Lower Ninth Ward.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They have grown fanatical in this month or so. They were released by the New Orleans Special Task Force.
Why?
They do not register as what they call a blank body.
Right.
They gave them a, shall we say, UV treatment, and they passed with flying colors. Needless to say, this is a concern in multiple levels.
Do we
If
know
they
that
seek
these
their
are the
re-
only ones, the only thin bloods?
I know not.
Do you know what
They were captured at that night, though.
Do you know what became of Lapis and her broodmate?
Not of Lapis, she was never recovered. But, if you'll indulge me for a moment, and he goes and gets an iPad and pulls up some footage from within the Special Task Force. Starts to show it to you all. And the one known as Sawtooth, the male that was, you just see him like splayed across multiple tables and just screaming. You know, there's no sound. But they're like operating and testing. And
Where did you get this footage?
I told you I still have connections. Very limited, but enough to get information such as this.
So you have enough to get information, but not to make any moves.
Would you move against people that are capable of this?
Cautiously.
And that is what I propose. A cautious maneuver. The New Orleans Special Task Force releasing them does not mean they were not still being watched for a time for suspicious activity. When none was found, they let them be. And yet, I have it on authority still that their whereabouts are known.
Are or aren't?
Are.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's in the lower east.
Oh, right.
Specifically at a power plant substation, transfer station, that they are staying at. They've broken in and are staying there during the day.
Gotcha.
For what little they actually need to stay indoors.
Let's tip off the werewolves that this power plant is polluting and have them take care of it.
My dear, they would come all the way from Shreveport.
Maybe. Maybe there's closer ones.
How would you propose to
He's
get that
looking at you
message?
both like, what the fuck?
They've been through a lot.
I kind of just want to let him think, like, maybe
We're
I
crazy.
shouldn't fuck with them because these bitches are talking about releasing werewolves.
I'm not saying releasing, I'm just saying
Tell
mentioning.
me, are you able to procure any of their vitae?
A werewolf? I've never tried.
No, sir.
Ah, well. Can't blame me for asking.
She's got that, Daenerys.
So, you're asking me to go in there and finish it.
Yes, I am. I'm not asking you to do dirty work so much as perhaps reconnaissance photos, perhaps information letting the New Orleans Special Task Force know that if they can be found in the act of feeding, that these were not innocents that should be released from the public. And that, oh my goodness, this is where Kindred have set up, is this area. They're already patrolling heavily that area of the Garden Gate. It has made Avery and Roger quite upset. But if we can move those patrols further east,
Right.
buy us some time at least.
Be very, very cautious in dealing with this second Inquisition. Do not overestimate,
Oh, I do
or
not.
underestimate, I should say, such
I
mortals.
do not, but they are still mortal.
Mortals with flame guns.
Yes. I agree. They are to be respected. It is a troublesome thing. But if there is still any Sabbat in this city, they could help us get rid of them. Because as we all know, Sabbat are messy. And they will cause problems for us. And if we can point this tool at them, perhaps we eliminate two problems. Two birds, one stone? Is that the saying?
So
I'm
we
not
go
certain.
in.
What?
She said, I'm not certain.
So we go in. We follow them. Wait for them to start feeding, or anything that gives visual proof that they are thin bloods. Get pictures, get evidence, and then submit that anonymously to the task force.
Yes.
No way. They'd have ways to track us. We can't trust that it's anonymous. They'd find out it's us. I say we start leaving drained bodies over at the power plant.
Also possible.
I agree. I do not like anonymous tips.
I don't like walking into a situation and then letting the whole thing blow up in my fucking face.
Well, Casey's gone.
Oh, I agree. I will tell you this, that I know about what I know about them. They are growing more dangerous the longer they are there.
Thin bloods?
Yes.
You said they were radicalizing or something?
Yes.
Are they making?
Fanatics.
Can thin bloods make more thin bloods?
Certain ones can, yes.
How many of them do we know are there?
At least 3.
So we know it's those. It's the 3, but we haven't seen any more.
Have not. But what I have heard from Avery and Roger is rumors of something far more sinister.
What?
What is that?
Have you heard of the Path of the Sun?
No.
No.
I am surprised your sire had not told you of this, but
She doesn't tell me much.
maybe it is for the best. The Path of the Sun is a cult within the Sabbat of Thin Bloods who believe that they are the sign of Gehenna coming to fruition, and that literally the curse of our kind shall be burned from their bodies.
The sense has got the monkey meme, like.
And that their ability to walk in daylight and to create amalgams. Have you heard of these?
No.
They are able to do alchemy with their blood.
Oh, right.
Things that we can't even imagine. Things that I much desire to know about, but couldn't begin to understand. It's just, none of us can do this except them. If the rumors and the research I've done are true, they have the ability to harness the power of the sun and weaponize it against our kind. You can see the problem therein.
Sure.
So we set up a sting operation where we say this is how you're gonna get to the path of the sun, and then we fucking kill them.
We do what?
I don't know. Trick them somehow. Ensnare them into this path that they want to walk. Make them believe that they are on it. Get them into a room and kill them.
We still need to get the police to move.
Yes.
We have to have the task force and the police
I would say
involved.
engaging is not what I would recommend. If you want to pursue that, certainly, but
I am not engaging with them until absolutely necessary.
wise.
I will go about getting the evidence that we need.
And I will be happy to assist. I just did not want to do this on my own.
Well,
It affects all of us.
then I'm gonna need you to run the camera because I'm not very good at that shit.
Heinrich, would you mind helping? Yes, I would. I would help.
Ooh, does he have an accent?
Yes.
Ooh. Is he cute?
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's like a skinny, tall, blonde kid.
That's not that cute.
Not like wiry, but just...
You said kid, though, so it's a turn off.
I was like 20s. 21, 22 apparent age. About Andre's age.
No.
But you don't know how old he actually is.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
This dude could be 500 years old. I mean, probably
Well-
not if he's working the camera. Well, I don't know.
Yes, I can do that.
We need to procure a industrial van.
That will be no problem.
Yeah,
I have several at my disposal.
perfect, because we're gonna need to use that to get close to that power plant without rousing any suspicion.
Yes, I'll...
I'm not driving my BMW up
No,
there.
and I'll make sure the licenses and paperwork match accordingly.
Okay.
Do we need more reconnaissance about what is actually over at the power plant?
I would say anything that we can gather to help us. Yes, I do not think this would take place in a night. But it is certainly a threat to all of us. The last remnants, minus Lapis, wherever she has gone.
We killed her sire, Mr. Card. Killed her sire. She will probably not go far.
Hopefully she went up in smoke. But I doubt it.
No, I would imagine she would want revenge for that. If there are any assets that you need, I certainly can help you procure them. And any protections you should need, I can assist there as well.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, as a token of goodwill, I would be happy to ward your estate. And he looks at the two of you.
Yeah, do it.
Minus any spirits, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he knows who you are.
He does.
He knows your situation.
Everybody knows my situation.
Yeah.
I do. I do know your situation, and I very much would like to speak to you about shared knowledge.
Yeah, you're a very popular person.
How so?
Everybody wants to talk to you.
Or about you.
She does not look happy about either of those things being said.
Egg's just staring blankly.
Oh.
She just kind of puts her hand on his shoulder to see if he reacts.
Does not.
Oh God, Vecna has him. Play his favorite song.
Running up that hill.
God, everybody's listening to that Kate Bush song.
Can
You
I
need to
do?
listen to the rest of them. They'll stop listening to Kate Bush real quick.
Yeah.
I guess let me do Sense the Unseen.
Okay.
What is Sense the Unseen? I need to get my.
Oh, I just had it. It is active is resolve plus aspects.
Okay. Three successes.
All right. His spirit is still in his body.
Uh-huh.
That man's spirit is. You see the aura of the the larger gargoyle, but at its core, it's your husband's spirit.
Yes.
It stares forward blankly as well. But at the feet, you see spectral hands pulling at the spirit, trying to drag it down. And away.
Can I?
It doesn't look like it's working,
Uh-huh.
but you can see the image kind of fading in and out as the hands touch and try to pull.
Can I reach down to touch the hands?
Yes.
Get off of him.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Hang on. What? Actually, before I do that, let me see what the shroud level is here,
Okay.
because that is going to help.
What's
me.
the scale, 1 to 5?
Yeah. Hang on, just a second. Let
1
me-
being like none, 5 being like
No, it's 0 to 5.
0 to
Because
5.
it can actually be absent here
okay.
in this book.
Gotcha.
Insane. I gotta pull this up because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I will tell you the shroud level is a 2.
Okay, it's a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I get a bonus. Let me see something about doing Oblivion stuff, which I may be having to do here. Okay, it does not go numbered anymore. It's impenetrable to absent. My apologies.
Okay. It is thin.
It is thin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a -1 difficulty to Oblivion rolls.
Okay.
And then I need to. And this is malevolent, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, so I automatically get 2 successes to this.
Okay.
I'm going to compel the spirit
Okay.
and tell it to get the out. And I need to. Okay, what the fuck am I doing? Resolve plus Oblivion. Okay, resolve plus Oblivion. So level 2. So difficulty is 3,
Okay.
and I already have 2 successes. Hang on. I am going to spend a willpower. I would have had full willpower and health, right?
Yeah.
It's been a month.
Why are you spending willpower? You already have
I'm
5
not-
successes.
Oh, that's already exceptional, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm not. I wanted to do it really good, okay?
And what are you saying?
I'm directed at the Spectre hands telling him to leave.
Okay.
Can everybody hear this?
Yeah, you can hear her say it, and her voice kind of sounds like it's crossing over to another side of things.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the chill of the grave on your skin as this happens, and you hear like the sounds of little children giggling as the hands let go.
We all hear this?
No, I think she
She
does.
only hears the...
Yeah.
Striplings.
And she says that out loud?
Are you alright?
Yeah, why?
She's not mad at him, but it's a look of like, this is very bad, but I don't want to tell you how bad it is in front of Mr. Tremere over here.
I see why everybody wants to talk to her now.
Do you often have trouble with specters in this building?
A specter. the ones that are turned, right? I do not know.
It would be very difficult to explain without going into extensive education.
I would very much like to do that, though, at some point. But not to my knowledge. Now, the restless dead come in many forms, I understand.
That is an understatement and an oversimplicity at the same time.
I do not mean to be ignorant, and you must forgive me for that.
Yes, forgive me. I'm out of sorts.
Something was affecting your mate.
Yes. And Giovanni probably.
I'm sorry. Well, this place must not be good for him. I shan't take any more of your time tonight. But please, we shall discuss this further, but I would ask that it be in person. You understand, we do not need to communicate such things over the phone, times being what they are.
Yes, I concur.
Sure.
Shall we speak tomorrow?
I'd like to speak with you about a few other matters
Privately?
privately.
Certainly, if you'll excuse us.
Yes, we will be taking our leave.
Thank you for the refreshment.
You're welcome.
Sorry I spit blood everywhere. I licked it up.
I'm sure Evelyn has cleaned it up.
What'd you say?
I'm sure Evelyn has cleaned it up.
Okay. Sorry. See you tomorrow. She goes out and she puts her hood up. I don't even know if she has a hood. If she has a jacket, she's
It's a
putting
Stevie
up.
Nicks outfit. You've got a hood.
Okay,
Yeah, you
good.
do.
She's putting the hood on. She is very paranoid about the cameras now. She doesn't know if Second Inquisition has like fucking face recognition or what.
Oh man, that's a big problem for you.
Yes, like
'Cause-
they know they have me on file. Like
Yep.
she's like
because
oh, fuck.
Rhapsody could not get you deleted.
Oh, I forgot we even tried.
I got everybody else's except yours because they already had you in captivity.
Fuck.
And Murphy was like, "There's no way I can get her off the system, but I can everybody else."
Shit.
Everybody else actually was just the Tremere.
Suspected.
The Tremere was marked as not. They were like he was just marked as we were wrong, and then Rhapsody and Vincent were marked as dead.
Oh,
So
that's right.
yeah. So yeah, they do have a file on your butt.
Yeah.
Iris, would you care for a ride?
Yes, please.
Well, you can walk.
Yeah, it's
It's
right
that close.
there.
It's
I think we
Oh.
walked there.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. My bad.
Yeah. It's like right down the street, right? We probably walked.
Since you did so well on spotting, I'm going to get you to give me wits plus awareness.
Okay.
You can too, Mom.
Ooh.
I am gonna spend a willpower on this one.
Oh my god.
Motherfuck. Okay, I have 2 successes.
Okay.
Willpower.
Okay. You can reroll 3 dice, 3 of the black ones.
Yay!
3.
You don't notice it, you just feel like you're being watched. You look back, but from the top story window, you see a little spirit watching, glowering
Oh. What do you see?
as they're walking away.
Angry little kid spirit.
What did it look like?
What did it look like?
Dark hair,
Dark hair?
little, maybe a year or 2 old, toddler,
Oh,
or no, toddler sized. Yeah, toddler sized.
like a toddler.
She just nods her head. She's not saying anything.
Okay.
In her mind, she's like, "Oh, that's the spirit we displaced, and it's trying to come back." Maybe Ella Messina did, because she was thinking Ella Messina had him reincarnated like from birth, but apparently that's not what has
Work like
happened.
that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, well, she didn't know because she didn't think that what was done could have been done anyway. So she
Right.
was, kind of grasping at straws. But now she's like, "Oh, okay." Either that, or it's her long dead toddler son, but
No.
she's thinking not because that wasn't what was implied to her in Wraith.
You're there with Antonio.
Okay.
Just you and him.
What's his last name again?
Kalbashari.
Mr. Kalabashari. Congratulations on your grand opening. I'm glad we could get that deal set up. Since we're going to be working together,
Yes.
and we're going to be working together on this little situation that we have as well, I feel it's best that we have a good one-on-one, because we haven't really had much of a chance to speak.
Oh, please, sit.
So since you got information about the Thin Bloods there, and you knew, you have your ins and things of that nature. There was one thing I wanted to discuss with you about an event that happened a month ago regarding the incident at that apartment. Before that had happened, you gave me your card with a little diamond in it. Oh!
Yes.
And I saw your vehicle following us. I just think it's best that we are on the same page, that we're working for the same things here.
We are. I just had to make sure we were. Do you understand?
Yes, I absolutely understand. I wouldn't be coming to you with this information if I didn't feel like if I didn't feel like we weren't at least somewhat on the same page. But it's best for us in this situation that we both have the knowledge to navigate these situations.
Absolutely. And so you know, I am telling you everything I can and have available to me as far as knowledge. These nights, any differences, which there are none between you and I, just so you know, must be put aside for the survival of all of us. We have a greater threat in this city. Not only the Sabbat menace, which has greatly diminished thanks to you and your coterie.
Did you know of that Sabbat situation in the Lower Ninth Ward, the Shemiche?
I had heard rumors that they still existed, but where, no one knew. Avery and Roger had their secrets. Why they did not approach is anyone's guess. Perhaps we would have believed them, perhaps not. Hindsight. But no, I did not. Regrettably so. Had I known, we would have moved. The Camarilla would have moved much quicker.
Got you.
But it is noted and it is appreciated. Even though they would not admit it to your face, I will tell you this now. There are those in the city who believe you did everything right. And many of those people are in high places. There are those that do not agree with your methods, though. I will not dispute that.
There must be a few of them that voted for my final death that night.
I certainly think so.
But I have it on good authority that many of those people wanted to put all of us to final death, not necessarily because of me, but because of the company that I keep.
I could see that.
You know of Vicenta. You have questions. You want to learn her ways or something. I don't know.
I'm interested to know what she knows. I'm interested to know what her sire knew and why this supposed attempted coup, destruction of our city, was to take place. I want to know if that's possible to happen again. And the method that was used is knowledge not available to any of us save one who assures us that she only communes with spirits in a friendly manner. But the one here, your associate, the Giovanni, are not known for being so kind to their spirits. I cannot speak in generalities. Perhaps she is. But...
Are you speaking of the body that she's inhabiting?
It is certainly suspect that she has no problem having removed a spirit from its vessel and taking that over. It's also suspect that she shows up and we have these Sabbat issues again. I'm not saying they're tied together. I'm just saying that the information became available conveniently quick after she arrived. And I hope that, and many believe that her actions that night, are the night in question of the Garden Gate, are evidence that her intentions are pure here. But there are those who don't know if that's the whole story.
Right.
I would suggest, Mr. Descartes, just keeping your friends close. And should they become your enemies, even closer.
What do you know of this? And then I pull out that handkerchief. What is this?
It looks very old.
It does look really old.
Where did you get this?
It's a gift from somebody that knows her. Or has someone that knows her. It could be anybody. I don't know. All I know is that she has a history, and a lot of people here like her. A lot of people want to know about her, and a lot of people want to know about Ella Messina. And I am completely in the dark on this.
I know as much or as little as you. I know that if she is who she says she is very ancient. And the fact that she is not filling the calling, the beckoning to the Middle East baffles all of us. But I've heard the Hekata are all that way, which is curious still. This looks like a family embroidery, a name.
Mm-hmm.
But
With the
almost
C.
like a crest. Tell me who gave this to you.
I'm not at liberty to speak on that at the moment.
Ah.
Once I figured some things out, and once we get through with our little Sabbat situation, I may be able to divulge some information to you.
Wonderful. Well, Mr. Descartes, be careful out there. I'm not saying don't trust your coterie mate, but just if you notice anything off, do not become a guilty by association. Do you understand?
Absolutely. I seem to be getting in those situations frequently now.
That is the danger of keeping a coterie, I'm afraid.
Unfortunately, I feel as though that my coterie is looked upon. We are looked upon as if I am the leader and I am responsible for my coterie.
Well, make no mistake, there are those within the Camarilla who see you as the first potential for Clan Lasombra to have one who could stake that claim. Your sire is considered your primogen, but it is not official.
Right.
Oh. Oh.
Keep doing your good work, Mr. Ducot. It is being noticed.
That's why she's pissy. I knew it.
Okay. Well, good. And thank you for speaking with me. I hope to keep working with you.
We shall. I bid you good night, sir.
You as well.
And off you go, with that knowledge in your hand.
the knowledge that
They're looking at you for primogen.
yeah.
It's big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably something your sire wouldn't be too happy to hear,
Right.
knowing what you know. Or maybe she would. That remains to be seen.
I'd have to talk her emotional ass into it. She's gonna be all pissy about it first.
I don't know. She might have gotten over that. It seems like the more she talked, the more she was like,
Maybe I'm being dumb here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's why I'm always fascinated to hear Sierra's conversations, because she's unpredictable to me.
Yeah.
Try to make her that way.
Yeah, you do a good job.
Try to make her interesting and scary at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
As you make your way home, you see the light on in the loft of the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You see her talking and laughing at the silhouette in the window. And the thought crosses your mind, toying with her food again. And that's where we'll leave tonight, as you make your way up.
Okay.
So let's talk favorite moments. Adam, do you have one?
I liked the splitting up and kind of figuring our own things, kind of doing our own things in a way. There's a lot of this side stuff though that does make it makes it interesting to keep in the coterie.
Yeah.
The way everybody talks about everybody, particularly Vicenta. Everything that I had talked about, like most of it had to do with Vicenta.
Mm-hmm.
And it just is at the point, I think, I know you didn't ask this question, but we're with Andre, where he's like,
No, that's the stuff I want to hear.
he needs to know.
Yeah.
He's feeling the heat of needing to know things, and he's likely going to talk to Vicenta and tell her, like, you have a lot of fucking heat right now. You got a lot of people that want to talk to you. They want to talk to me. So, like, and we'll probably play this out, but I just need to, like, I need to know
we definitely should play it out.
what to say, what not to say.
Like you all should be there when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andre's definitely like, well, I think Andre too is probably like, is this a liability or is this
Right.
an asset? Because right now this could go either way. Like,
Right.
how can I use this to benefit me and to help me win? Or is this something that I just need to completely cut loose and be like, here she is, boys, you know?
Right.
Cool. Well, Dee, how about you?
I liked several things. I really liked Andre's conversation with Sierra because that had me scared and nervous.
She was gonna kill me.
No, just, I mean, it's like, oh, she's like Monica
She's
said.
not as stable.
She's not as stable,
that
and
we
she's been
thought.
very stable and calm and in control, and she really let her emotions.
And she's done that before,
She
but this,
has.
you could definitely see more of the insecurity, I think.
Yes, that's
what was
exactly what it
fascinating.
was.
But out of the two of you, who's winning more?
Yeah.
I am. Particularly with the Camarilla,
Mm-hmm.
I'm winning with them because I'm doing their dirty work. I'm
Yep.
the one dancing like a monkey, as she says.
Mm-hmm.
But that's helping me get to that point. And Sierra is thinking that she needs to go off and do her own thing so she won't be seen as this dancing monkey or whatever. But they're not looking at her. It's kind of an out of sight, out of mind with probably with the Camarilla, where she's barely even around. I would assume she's off doing her own thing, you know, and so it's kind of biting her in the ass to have this like air of superiority that she has,
Big
because
time.
like time is passing her by and people are moving on from her.
Yeah.
And now that like the sire she was forced to, the child she was forced to have is
outstepping the master, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I loved that. I liked the Iris and the Church of Cain, but that was more on a personal
Yes,
level.
that was a
That was
player
Yes.
excitement.
Yes. And then the little stripling kid spirit, Spectre. And I'm really glad Iris saw that and said something because that's huge.
Yeah,
And I don't know how to explain that without sounding like an asshole. And I'm really about to break one of my tenants here too, because I will totally smush it up and throw it to oblivion if it comes between the two. And that's very unlike Vicenta. And she's
You'll kill a toddler spirit.
yes.
It's already dead. Who cares?
Okay. Here's the thing. In all honesty,
You're getting aborted twice, kiddo.
pretty much. Yes, it's that
Yikes.
death abortion. But I mean,
We go there, folks. We go there in this game.
normally Vicenta's very much like, no, never harm a child. But this is also Ignacio. This is like, this is probably the one instance.
Yeah.
What do you
sh-
think he's going to do when he learns?
I don't think he's going to be happy. That's why she's not said anything just yet. But at the same time, even if he were to relinquish the body and give it back to the spirit, that spirit's a fucking toddler.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a toddler spirit
In a grown man's body.
That's
That's
body.
unethical.
And it's a specter.
Yeah.
That's a big problem. What it would be more kind would be to take control of it, send it to the Order of Thorn, tell it to go to the Order of Thorns at the Venus Stairs,
So
that they could try to help it if they're around. But I don't know.
So, just so I have an understanding of this, are we saying that the toddler spirit was the spirit of the body that Vicenta took?
No.
Or that
No.
Vicenta put eggs?
Okay, Vicenta didn't put
Ignacio's-
Ig
Ella
into-
Messina put.
Ella
Ella
Messina
Messina
did all
did it.
that. Vicenta
it.
didn't know
Okay.
shit of it. When she read the note, Vicenta was like, oh, he was reincarnated. Just because it was very vague. The letter
Yeah.
was written about a year after he was born. She was like, oh, so Ella Messina just probably got verification that, yeah, everything's gone. Well, no, what probably happened was that they took a toddler spirit out and they put Ignacio's spirit in.
Right.
Striplings are dangerous as shit, though. Vicenta knows they're dangerous as shit. This is not something that we can be like, oh, I'm sorry, we took your body. Here, have it back and go about your business. Like, we're past that. Like,
So-
we're just past that.
Was Ignacio like a grown man baby then, if his spirit was like matured?
Well, he was also a gargoyle, and they're dumb as
Yeah, he was
God.
very limited in like how he could speak and
It's called
shit.
artistic license.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
We gave him a chance to become human again by
as
making
fair-
him a baby,
Right.
And then he grows up.
Ferox was dumber than a sack of bricks, okay? He was
Oh,
dumb as shit in Dark Ages. So he probably needed the whole grow up thing.
And is Ig a vampire?
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
But he was born as a mortal body.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
at some point he was
Turned into a vampire.
Embraced?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Vicenta embraced him.
orchestrated for
Vicenta,
Vicenta to
got
find him and
embrace him when he got older.
Yeah, they just...
Got
the
it.
plan was for Vicenta, it sounds like, to be notified of what was going to go down. Nobody
Oh,
told
right.
her shit.
So how did you find Ig?
He ended
In a
up in Marco. No. No. He ended up in Persephone's sire's
Yeah.
care as a ghoul, and then she took
okay.
him from Marco. Now Marco won him in a card game, which now is kind of like, oh, that's how he got him so easily. Somebody in the somehow knew how. You know, just nobody ever told them what the fuck was going on, which is pretty on brand for Vicenta. Vicenta never knows what the hell's going on. So,
What about you, Mom?
Favorite moment? I really liked the little tidbits dropped, like with Sierra saying she knows who the Princess Sire is and the potential for that to be a bomb. Also, Sierra saying, I was right to be the one to sire you, or something like that, to that effect, to make it seem like someone else could have been Andre's sire. I thought that was really interesting. And then there was something the Tremere said that was like, oh, Oh, when he said that she's not the primogen, it's not set in stone, like, you're doing good. So I just liked all those little, like, oh moments.
Well, good. I'm glad that you had some awes in there. Well, we'll find out what happens next time we play. But until then, this is GM Tuck wishing you all a good night. Have a great one, everyone.